And we are underway from Indianapolis. The Mercury, the only team the Fever have not faced this year. They'll match up 3 times over the final 18 games and twice over the next 8 days as Kahleah Copper turns, fades, and banks it home.
A couple of things the Fever have to do tonight. They got to force some tough twos. This is the second best three-point made team in the league. They are fantastic at spreading. They got to advance the pass to look to attack and advance the ball up the floor. This is a slower-paced Phoenix team that loves to play in the quarter court defensively.
There's the head coach of the Phoenix Mercury in his second season. It is Nate Tibbetts. Christy Tolliver, Michael Joyner, and Megan Vogel are the assistants on the Phoenix sideline. It's going to be an offense coming off a 93-point evening in Chicago. The offense was really flowing well. Kelsey Mitchell led the way with 35, but a lot of balance as well as Natasha Howard flips in her first shot tonight.
Her field goal percentage at the front of the rim has been outstanding all season. She's a great finisher, left or right, off 2 feet.
Here's Monika Koa-Makani missing on her first look. Boston with the outlet pass. Here's Cunningham pulling up and missing on a 3-ball. She has been hot, over 50% from the 3-point line over her last 7 games.
Those quick shots are going to be okay for Indiana in transition as long as they can match up defensively should they miss.
Fever looking for their 3rd win in a row, which would match their largest winning streak of the season. An offensive foul will put an end to that possession on a moving screen.
Aaliyah Boston averages 3.5 fouls a game, and it seems her tendency has been for Stephanie White to pick up a couple of quick ones in the first quarter. Like that right there, that drag screen, that's just a rhythm thing between her and Ari McDonald.
The Mercury are in the midst of a monstrous road trip. This is day 7 and game 3 of a 5-game road trip. Kahleah Copper turns it over. They're 1-1 on the road trip here so far. They're coming off a 16-point win in Washington. Nate Tibbetts' group flexing their defensive muscle down the stretch. They held Washington to just 26 second-half points on Sunday.
Well, Alyssa Thomas took over in the 3rd quarter. She had 27, 11, and 8 assists to go along with 3 steals. AT, one of the MVP candidates in the WNBA right now for Nate Tibbetts, the head coach for Phoenix. See the top.
Fever donning their Stranger Things uniforms here for a 2nd straight home game as Boston steps through and can't finish inside. Boston, who is 2nd in the WNBA in field goal percentage, has 3 straight double-doubles. She's never had 4 in her career. Sabally rescues the loose ball on the drive, shot off the mark. I'll say Boston touched it last, so it'll stay here with Phoenix.
So the 3 touches that Copper has times with Copper.
Here's Satou Sabally in her first season in Phoenix. Step through, won't fall. Offensive rebound, draws the foul and 1.
In the WNBA.
Well, Sabally came over in the offseason in that 3-team deal that involved Indiana, Dallas too. Sophie Cunningham came to the Fever in that trade. So both of these teams got better thanks to that 3-team deal. Cunningham has played so well here for Indiana over the last month. So too has Ari McDonald, who did not start the season with the Fever, but has really come on strong. Pass inside, it's a bullet from Howard to Boston.
See, that was the hockey assist by Ari McDonald because she gets it to Howard, who can throw that high-low pass in there. Great find by Natasha.
Thomas with the left-hand push shot, and she rattles it home.
You got to force them to take tough twos, Pat. You can't let them spot up behind the 3-point line. So far, Indiana has not let them do that.
Well, this is what Phoenix does better than anybody in the league. Force, or in this case, attempt to force the turnover.
Watch the great position AB gets. She's
center jump circle. Natasha Mack is 6'4", and Ari McDonald at just 5'6". Mack wins the jump ball. And Sabally has the size advantage, goes right to work, leaves it short. Cunningham had it for a moment. Thomas rips it away. And now Thomas charging inside, draws the foul.
Alyssa Thomas, pound for pound, one of the toughest competitors in the league.
Thomas, who has finished in the top 5 of the MVP voting each of the last 3 seasons, seems all but destined to finish perhaps even in the top 3, maybe even compete for an MVP. DeWanna Bonner can't connect on a 3, but she's fouled.
You can hear the crowd booing. DeWanna Bonner played 9 games with it on the crowd, saying, bring it on. I'll tell you what, DeWanna Bonner has played well in her time at Phoenix.
And now a word from IndianaWorkers.com. DeWanna Bonner, who started her 16th season here in Indiana and played her first 6 games with the Fever, requested out early in the season and is now back with the franchise where she has played 11 seasons with, has played the 2nd most games in Phoenix Mercury franchise history behind only Diana Taurasi, but the Fever having trouble here pulling down these rebounds in the opening quarter. All-star on all-star as Thomas works on Boston, hesitates. Boston got a piece, and Boston able to tiptoe the baseline and come up with the rebound. Here's McDonald, full steam ahead, draws the foul.
It's a really good attack in transition when you don't see 2 shoulders, 2 hips in front, and you see a clear path to the bucket. You have to drive it. Ari McDonald making an excellent read right there. See right here.
Tonight is game number 27 of the season for the Fever. Caitlin Clark has played in 13 of them. So this is their first game where they played more games without than with Clark this year. Ari McDonald has stood in and done a fine job, but the Fever certainly missing their 2nd-year all-star point guard in Caitlin Clark. There is no timetable currently on Clark's groin injury. Here's Sabali back on the attack and lays it in.
Yeah, what Phoenix is doing is just using their size to attack Indiana off the bounce, and they're getting 2 feet in the paint.
Sabali a little slow to get up. The Fever had 5-on-4 for a moment. Sabali making her way back into the frame here, but
inadvertent elbow.
Mitchell catch and shoot off the mark on Kelsey Mitchell's first look here of the night. And Copper lost the handle in transition. There's the rookie Timpson, who's really come on here in the month of July. Boston backing her way in on Thomas, spins, loses the handle, and they'll say Boston touched it last. So Indiana's turned it over here 3 times in the opening 5 minutes. Phoenix forces 17 of those turnovers per game, most in the WNBA. Thomas on the drive. There's a whistle first. And a foul on the Fever. That is already Indiana's 4th.
I mean, Alyssa Thomas coming downhill is not on Indiana.
Here is Thomas, this time with the right hand. It skips off. She is ambidextrous, so she's shooting with the right and the left here tonight.
Phoenix has attempted. We rise, we run, we won't back down. This is our moment, this is our ground. Game on, let's take it home. We fight together, we're not alone. Game on, heart and stone. Victory's calling, it's in our bones. Sweat is dripping, breath is fire. Push the limit, climb up higher. Every step builds our empire. We charge, we chase, we're here to claim. We're the thunder, we're the flame. Game on, let's take it home. We fight together, we're not alone. Game on, heart and stone. Victory's calling, it's in our potentially every night a triple-double. So Indiana has to play a little bit differently without her, and that's fine, because what's going to happen when she comes back is you have more ways, and a variety of ways that you can find a way to win depending on the matchup. You can't play one way in this league. You have to be able to play a variety of ways.
Despite not having her now for the 14th game of the season, Fever have a chance tonight to get to 3 games over 500. That's something they never did at any point last year. They had Clark for all 40 a year ago, so Fever are certainly keeping the boat afloat here. McDonald's been a big part of that, so too has Boston, who can't get that one to go inside. Now it's Thomas straight into Cunningham and lays it in.
Okay, I'm telling you right now, nobody in this league wants to take a charge when Alyssa Thomas is coming at you full speed.
Now Indiana on a turnover on the inbound pass. Here is Bonner, who gets that chorus of boos here from the Fever faithful. Westbeld into the corner, it's Copper. So Indiana with a bucket out of the timeout, but the Mercury. And if you wondered if there might be a learning curve, there has been absolutely none. Mercury started the season 12-3, 4-5 over their last 9 games. It's amazing how quickly everything has come together here for the Mercury. Here's Lexi Hull getting her first minutes, gets inside and draws the foul. It's been a foul-happy first quarter here from Indianapolis.
The tendency for Stephanie White's team coming off timeouts, their ATOs, is the pace and the acceleration which they execute is at another level. So this is
Hull rattles in the first free throw. So far, Phoenix is winning the possession battle here tonight. Both teams are shooting 50% from the field, but the Mercury have taken 6 more shots. They're +4 on the glass and +2 in the rebounding category. Indiana has now hit 32 of their last 34 free throws, as well as 22 in a row. They were a perfect 16 for 16 in Chicago. Hit their last 2 against Las Vegas, their first 4 here tonight, and that's too easy for Thomas.
Well, that's the way you got to guard AT, right? You got to give her a little cushion, and if she gets to the nail, she's pretty good from 15. But you got to make them hit tough 2s. You can't give up 3s.
Already 6 points in the first quarter for Thomas. She's got a massive size advantage on Kelsey Mitchell, who has no help, and Thomas makes her pay.
Spaced out with 3-point shooters, and this is the versatility of Phoenix.
McDonald charging through the defense, too strong at the rim. Really lacked any momentum here in the first quarter.
The other thing with AT on the top of the floor is it forces one of your bigs to have to defend her, which gives them another chance to have another shooter on the floor. Just spaces the floor more.
Mitchell catch and shoots. 2 points here in the first quarter, 1 of 3 from the floor. He needs 22 here tonight to have the best scoring month in franchise history. This is where Mitchell was so dangerous on Sunday in transition, but Reese has done a nice job getting back defensively. Mercury on an 11-2 run here. Final 2 minutes of the first quarter. And Indiana, an unforced turnover. A backcourt violation, and it's their 6th turnover of the quarter.
Yeah, they look a step slow to me. You know, just don't have the same energy. Usually when you put Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull on the floor together, usually you see a burst of energy. Let's see if it changes here.
Sammy Whitcomb on a bounce pass to a charging Mack, who got right to the rim. Shot too strong when she got there. Chloe Bibby has checked in here for the first time. Her pass knocked away by retreating Lexi Held. Chloe Bibby, a rookie out of Maryland from Australia, in her 2nd game on a 7-day contract with the Indiana Fever, came right in, knocked down a couple of 3s on Sunday in Chicago.
At 6'2", she's got great size. She can play the 4 and stretch the floor.
Colson whips it back. Dantes launches and hits a 3.
Dantas staying ready. Didn't play any minutes in the Chicago game in the last one. We're ready to go here.
And Sabally can't answer with a triple. Dantas has played just 2 minutes, in fact, over her last 2 games coming into tonight. Dantas fire away. That one off the mark. And Cunningham took the worst of that.
Christy Tolliver.
Well, she was asked what the toughest aspect has been of joining a new team mid-season, on the fly, not much practice time. None of that. She said it was the jet lag. And she's finally feeling like she has caught up on her sleep as of yesterday. Fever have a shot at a 2-for-1 if they go really quickly here. McDonald tries to do so. Kick out Colson, extra pass. And Bibby can't connect on a 3.
It was the right read, though, by Sydney Colson. Pass up a good one for a better one, especially since she just hit one.
Helm sets up Mack, who connects from the foul line.
I'll tell you what, Natasha Mack has incredible upside. She's very similar to KK Timpson for the Fever. Going to be really great pros.
Final 5 seconds here, first quarter. McDonald on the drive, kick out Colson. On the hesitation, misses on a 3.
Make some tough twos. She's capable, but that's part of the game plan for Indiana so far in the first quarter.
Thomas in 8 minutes with 8 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. She leads the league in assists at 9.4 per game. Caitlin Clark, 8.8 in the games that she has played this year. Mitchell, McDonald knocks down a triple.
Second triple for Erin McDonald, who does a great job getting her feet set. All it is Kelsey Mitchell drawing some help and giving Erin time to set her feet.
McDonald was really struggling with that 3-point shot earlier in the year. She was 3 for 3 the last time the Fever were in Indianapolis in their win on Thursday as Copper connects.
I mean, there are 4 Olympians on Phoenix's team. They have a lot of talent. The Aces have 4 Olympians. New York has 4 Olympians. Fever don't have any.
Here is Bibby, not shy, and Bibby draws the foul. Sabally too aggressive on the closeouts. We have to love the confidence here you're seeing from Chloe Bibby.
I mean, you're getting an opportunity. You got to take advantage. You can't work your way in. You got to come in explosive, like looking to score. That's why the Fever brought her here. Had a brilliant college career, played at part of her time at Mississippi State for Vic Schaefer, and then helped Maryland deep into the NCAA tournament for Brenda Fries.
It seems to me like players like her on these 7-day contracts, it must be so challenging to want to come in, fit into a new system, show what you can do, and sometimes difficult to pull all of that off. Bibby's done a really nice job here in her game plus with the Fever. Stephanie White hasn't hesitated going to the newest Fever forward. Oh, great defensive stretch there. It looked like she had all ball, then on her way down, maybe there was some contact, and that's what Hull is arguing. Stephanie White wanting a jump ball.
It's all about the angle. Ball pressure by Indiana, really up in the grill of Phoenix, making them make plays off the bounce.
A trio of Sabally and Thomas and Copper, who this team is built around. Already 25 points. If Sabally hits this, they will have matched the Fever as a team. Sabally off the mark on her second free throw. Contact away from the ball as Mack and Boston were battling. See if the Fever can get Kelsey Mitchell going here. So with 2 points here so far, instead it's Lexi Hull off the mark on a 3-ball. And Chloe Bibby able to intercept, and she's tripped up in transition.
Bibby doing a good job right here.
And the Fever are desperately asking for a transition take foul. And they are going to say that is not the case. Take another.
She's a tough competitor, though. She's going to keep battling for position.
That is already the Mercury's 4th foul here, less than 2 minutes in. Rolling Boston can't finish underneath. Boston has opened up here just 1 for 4 on the night. And transition, Thomas, she is dangerous. McDonald bouncing ahead for Hull. Indiana trying to keep the pace up here. Hull is open. And there is the 5th foul on Indiana, the 9th foul of the night on Phoenix, as Boston hits the first. We've had 18 fouls in just over 12 minutes. If this one has felt choppy, that is why.
Well, I did expect it to be a lower possession, slower game, which we started talking about. You know, that's why if Indiana could advance the ball, they need to attack. Phoenix has size, job of being disruptive with their defense.
Mercury have led by as many as 12 points here tonight. Thomas on the spin and picked up a pivot foot. That's a travel.
That's the way you got to play Phoenix, and helps draw that turnover.
More contact there underneath. Hull hits the ground. Boston has a size advantage here. Wants the clear out, gets the clear out, gets inside, and pushes it home.
Yeah. If AB can get to her spot, that's why she's so dangerous. And then back-to-back turnovers for Phoenix. Indiana has a chance on the rim.
McDonald shot out of a cannon.
Leah, Boston now defending AT. We've seen that a couple of times. And there's a steal, 3 consecutive turnovers.
It's Hull with the steal. It's McDonald with the finish.
I think the ball pressure has been outstanding by Indiana. They started the game with great ball pressure up the line, taking away.
Catch and shoot off the mark. That's Katia Laksa. Played 5 minutes here tonight off the bench. Boston driving. Boston bank shot too strong.
Boston has had Alyssa Thomas on several possessions, including after the opening jump, and there's another turnover.
Lexi Hull, a 2-on-1, shovels to Bibby. Thomas knocked it away. It'll stay here with the Fever.
Thomas.
Rebounding margin. Mitchell, catch and shoot. Oh, she uses glass. And the Fever have erased a 12-point deficit. We are level. Thomas can't hit inside. Rebound Mitchell. Fever back off to the races. Here's Boston, coast to coast. Cunningham a sidestep. Mitchell a drive. McDonald. Oh, yeah!
What a run by the Fever off their defense. And that is an 8-second backcourt? No, what did they call? They stopped the game. Second backcourt count.
Shot clock's still at 22, so it did not run right away. This is the loudest Gainbridge Fieldhouse has been so far tonight. Thomas driving on Boston, cross-court pass. Westbeld taken away by Howard. Only the sideline getting away is Indiana's defense. And a smile there for Ari McDonald on the bench, and for good reason. 15 points for McDonald. Makoa Makani, cross-court pass. Westbeld answers with a 3.
Westbeld, the Notre Dame graduate, won a national championship in 2018. That's her second triple.
Now these aggressive defensive tendencies by Phoenix, which makes their defense so strong, kind of work against them here. They've been in the penalty for almost the entirety of the quarter.
Well, and here's the thing for Nate Tibbetts' team, Bai really do a good job of getting back in transition to load up their defense. But it's been a consistent whistle on that end of the floor.
Mitchell's first free throw falls off. Mitchell, who enters the day 4th in the league in scoring. 20.2 points per game would be a career high. A little bit of a slow start tonight, at least relative to what she's done lately. That 35-point efforts on Sunday in Chicago helped lift the Fever to their 14th win of the season.
Look at how wide open the lane is. 5 out.
Copper crossing over Mitchell. Here's Thomas. Shot clock down to 5. This hasn't happened much for Phoenix here today. They get.
Indiana was going to take away 3-point shots and force them to the paint, which is what Indiana has done. Therefore, when you get by on a single ball screen, there's no help because Indiana's not coming off the 3-point shooters.
So 10 points here for Thomas. She has been held to 2 assists as Mitchell had her shot deflected. Launch ahead. Akoa Makani tracks it down and lays it in. What work there by the 24-year-old rookie out of Cameroon. Chase that ball down. Initially, it looked like it might be too far ahead of her. Colson left alone and cashes in.
That's a big 3 for Colson. She needed to make one for some confidence.
Indiana with 6 threes in the first half. All of a sudden, Phoenix can't take control of the ball. Mitchell launches and buries a 3.
This whole Fever run is off their D. They have been able to provide great ball pressure.
Well, this has been night and day defensively from Indiana the 2 quarters as Copper drives, lays it in and a foul. Mercury. So after a 30-point first quarter, the Mercury now have 15 in the second. Indiana with a 25-point third quarter. Their offense is humming here. McDonald on the drive, gets inside. 2 more for McDonald, who's already got her Fever high. She's done that here in the first half.
3 triples sets up her driving ability.
A 17-point half for Ari McDonald. Has outscored the numerous All-Stars here that she shares the floor with. Copper working right to left, shot won't fall, and it's Fever basketball. Indiana's turned the tide, charging hard, pulls it up off the ball. Thomas the rebound. Thomas has the first one stay down.
Last possession of the half here.
Shot clock is off, and what a quarter it's been for the Fever, who started the second down by 10. With a bucket here, could go up 10. McDonald, Bibby. That would have been the exclamation point on what's otherwise been a brilliant second for Indiana. Oh, and Whitcomb